Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be on Hall of Fame Ted DiBiase, newest Hall of Fame card we have in the game. Contest going on for 2 weeks to get him, and let's take a look at him. He looks pretty great for a Hall of Fame card. I think I rather like the look of him. Think they did a really good job with the model on this one. As usual, I do not get to keep this card. He'll get removed from my account. He is a Hall of Fame showboat. So one link, any color move starts with 4 more move points. He is a coach at 12k. Black moves that deal damage will deal 25% more damage. So he's great for someone like Striker China or Powerhouse Ivar, among others. Anyone with high black move damage. So let's take a look at the first set. I'm going to have 7 different builds for you. That's right, 7. They're all very different. They play different. He's super versatile, a lot of low charge moves, quite a bit of fun actually. So you'll want to stick around and check all those out. I'm going to have a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, and then we'll get into some of the other ones like usual. So this first one is available at 3-star. We got the 10 MP finisher, the diving elbow drop, deal 92k damage and make all loot gems into wild cards and pin the opponent. This one's pretty fun. The scoop power slam, 6 MP green, deal 45k damage and choose a 5x1 area to swap into loot gems. And the vertical suplex, deal 47k damage and choose a 3x1 area to make into X-break gems. For the trainers, we're going to go a Slick Rick for more gem damage. George Steele to start with 4 more green MP, Lacey Evans for green and purple MP, and Rikishi to charge the finisher faster. Let's get in there and take a look against Vader on the road. Neither of us have perks, neither of us have straps, neither of us have any bonuses, so it is a straight up even match Showboat versus Powerhouse. Very rarely do we get to do that in the preview where it is a completely even match. This one is. He does have 6 MP perk moves, so they are perk proof in feud. Assuming you have 2 MP up, you will start with the greens every time. Other than that, let's see how he does. Don't want to leave Vader green. Then he gets started faster, so I'm fine with him getting the reds. As usual, Vader cascades like crazy. Want to keep the greens and yellows on the board here. So this move right here, the most gems you're going to pick up are in the middle of the board. So right here is where you want to put it. I mean, you might potentially want to move it a little bit if you really want to get a particular gem, but that's going to break the most gems for you, so... Almost a full recycle, but not quite. We do have the finisher to fall back on, though. And it will recycle itself based on where the wild cards are. We're going to get some decent yellow cascades. Going to get a yellow, red, purple. This is a fun move. It is a bit random, like a lot of the wild card moves, but you can hit some crazy big cascades with it, so it's a lot of fun. 290k there on that finisher with a showboat. Not too shabby. Everything's loaded now. Another big cascade for Vader. Okay, this you can sometimes do some neat stuff with where the wildcard gems are. So like we can put this one right here. And the wild card is going to match these two, and we're going to break at least 2 of them on the finisher. So you can mess around with that if you want to. He's almost dead, so why not? Let's have some fun with it. So there you go. That's the 3-star moveset. It's not my most favorite of his movesets. He's got a lot, like I said, a lot of really good movesets, and he's pretty versatile and pretty fun to play. But it is definitely usable and solid. So for the 4-star moveset, the trainers stay almost exactly the same, and we're gonna switch in both purple moves for both greens. Finisher's gonna stay. Also, most of these builds for Vader or for MDM are going to be really benefit from a double Fury set. Some of them potentially a double takedown set, but double Fury is the way I would run him in most of the builds. So we're going to swap in both of the purples. This is the 1 MP belly to back. And then we're going to toss in the pile driver, which is a 6 MP purple. Oops. And the pile driver deals 51k damage and choose a 2x3 area to swap into yellow gems. The belly to back suplex is 1 MP, deal 30k damage, and make 7 random blue gems into loot gems. And then for the trainers, we're just swapping out steel for woods so we can get those purples loaded quickly. Again, like the last build, it's 6 MP, so he's going to be ready turn 1 in feud. Low charge moves, I always like that. So with this one, it's a little bit dependent how many wild cards you have on the board, where they are. In practice, I got, I think the most I got was a 75 card wild card to go off in practice. So there's tons of blues. Potentially will cause some cascades though, so let's see what happens. We're only making 7 into loots. So we did get the one there. And let's see. What do we not want Vader to do? Blue. That looks pretty good. I'll take these reds here. That didn't work out so well. But it did give me more pin bar to work with. So there's different ways you can do this. You could hit the blue, break the blues first. But I prefer usually to get the finisher charged and then be able to look at the board and make sure I don't cause any unwanted cascades. This should be okay for not forcing a pin. Okay. So we look like pretty good overall to hit the wild card or the loot box gem move again. And now we're gonna make a bunch of wild cards. .56 combo, reloaded everything, 365k damage from a showboat. Cascade King Vader does what Vader does though. I actually really like this moveset. The fact that it's can be turn 1 in feud, can hit really hard, and is probably most of the time gonna recycle quite well. Is kind of a big plus. Oh, that was not good luck. Well, he's close to dead, so let's just take some damage here off of him and then hit the finisher. And that should put him away. That'll do it. So again, another good move set that would benefit from Fury a lot. Very, all different colors. Trainers kind of similar. Don't need anything crazy in the trainer department. Get started really fast. So let's take a look at the 5-star moveset. This one is actually quite a lot of fun. We're going to keep the finisher in on this one too. You're going to notice a theme. His finisher is going to be in here a lot. I like that move. It's a really good move. So we're going to, like I said, keep the finisher. And we're going to leave the belly to back suplex out. And we're going to bring the 5-star move in. Which is the backbreaker. Deals 74k damage. Plus 9,544 bonus damage for every loot gem. So I think a lot of times when you see this, using Vince is kind of the first thought, and I thought about that too. But I kind of like this going double yellow that would make this... It makes it really fun, I think. You could use Vince, like I said. You could put the other purple move in with this move set, or kind of with this move set. Sorry, I'm talking and clicking. Anyway, both yellow MP trainers. We got Akam, we got Beth. We're going to keep Lacey. We're going to keep Rikishi. So really, it's similar to the last build a lot, in that we're getting a bunch of loot boxes on the board before we hit the finisher, but we're also doing a ton of damage for each one of those. So when you can get a yellow match, you definitely want to hit the loot move. This one right here. Because if you get a yellow match, you can use it again next turn. And it takes off big chunks of damage. I do have a row break, but I want to leave the loot gem on the board, so I am not going to take it. And you can see we've taken off a bunch of damage before we ever even get to the finisher. Not as good as we could have done on the Cascade. That was only 230k. Did fully load him back up, though. And this will more than finish him off here. This would have been a very, very big one as well. A lot of yellows and stuff. Okay. This next one might be my favorite of the builds. You could do it starting at 4-star. We're going to get to look at the submission, which I haven't shown yet. So we're going to leave the we're going to leave the finisher, and we're going to bring the sub in. And then we're going to bring back the pile driver. That's the area purple move. So the only one we haven't seen, the submission. Choose 4 gems to make into loot submission gems and do 14,000 damage for 5 turns while submission gems are on the board. Remaining some submission gems turn into protect gems of strength 16,384. Those are some beefy protect gems. Going to go back to Slick Rick and Woods. And again, this is another one that you would have able to have ready turn 1 in feud, because you're going to be able to drop the area move and fill the yellows. So you can turn 1 sub them. Kind of give you some control over the board. Vader does have a sub down coach. So instead of 5 turns, it's only going to last 3. So because next turn, I'm going to do a move that you don't want to cause a pin. I am not going to take the 4 row break. that was there, because I want to have pin bar to work with here so I don't cause a cascade and lose my turn. Okay, so these are going to turn into loot boxes, kind of like Cena's choose sub, which turns them red. This turns them into loot boxes when you place them. So like we can put this here and he can't get a red match. And they're also going to turn into wild cards with the finisher. So want to kind of try and keep them middle-ish of the board as much as possible, but also they're easier to break in the middle too, so, you know. So we got a bunch of them on the board. So the benefit to this is the sub drains them, and then the finisher recharges your moves. 52 gem cascade. The sub's ready to go. And he couldn't kick out. So that moveset I actually really like. You could get the sub turn 1 in feud and it would last 2 turns longer. So it would definitely drain your opponent. So I really like that moveset. This next one is going to be kind of a variation on this one. It's very defensive. This will be the first moveset we've seen without the finisher in it. This one I could see causing people a lot of headaches playing against it, not being too fun. Let's get to the moves first. So we're going to bring back we're going to leave the pile driver in. We're going to bring back the 5-star move, the backbreaker. And we're going to have the sub in as well. So this one is going to focus on the fact that the protect gems he leaves are quite large. So we're going to bring in some protect coaches, because even though it won't show on the tooltip, it does make them bigger. So we're bringing in Callisto. You could also use Showboat Brawn to buff the protect gems for an additional 45%. And we're going to bring in Earthquake instead of Lacey for another 20%. So they're going to be 65% bigger than that already large 16k. And normally, again, the sub would drain them more. But Vader's got the reduction coach. So again, you could start turn 1 with the sub on this one as well in feud. Here we're 1 short. And yellow is perfect because then we can hit this move right here and get a bunch of extra damage in. So again, flat yellow move damage with Fury would be great for a lot of these builds, or even a percentage, because he's got some high damage moves. So either of those would be awesome on his Fury set. And again, we just don't want to force an early pin. We want to leave loot boxes on the board. So here, I could hit it now, or I could hold it and hit it next turn. I'm going to be inclined to hold it because I don't think I'll lose that many of the loot boxes. And also, if your opponent wasn't ready to go, you could hold the sub and try and get a match, like a purple match. So recycle can be somewhat difficult this way, but the gems that are left on the board are going to be pretty big ones, the protect gems, so you're not going to take very much damage. And a little, probably more to the corners for this one, so they survive. Because you want a couple of those protect gems on there so you're not taking any damage. So even, I mean, then there you can see 27k on the prots, and I got 3 of them on the board. So not going to take much damage. And prioritizing yellows or purples. Every time you get the yellow, you can hit that move again, and it's dealing big damage. And we're not taking any. So even here where Vader's going to get to do a bunch of stuff, it's not really going to hurt at all. And because the protect gems are so big, you can go for the win with like a big pin, or you could just fill the finisher either way. So for a lot of this, guys, I don't have tour perks, so you won't see how fast he actually is. Most of his stuff gets started turn 1. He's, like I said, very versatile, very good card. A lot of different ways to play him. So there was that one. The next one is a shout out to my boy Davey D. It's going to be the Tri-Ted. The Tricolor Ted is what I'm calling it. If you guys don't know, Davey D used to do tricolor builds all the time. And it's kind of a thing I'd like to keep going when it's viable. So we're gonna go back to the finisher, and then we're gonna go with the vertical suplex, and then the pile driver, which I have equipped. Dual MP trainer on this. And I think I forgot to put Lacey back in. Oops. Oh well. Mistakes were made. I did. So this would be ready turn 1 as well, normally. And it's the same idea behind the 3-star moveset. Except instead of changing it to loot boxes, we're going to change it to yellow. So it's going to guarantee us the finisher will be filled. Not as good or as fast as some of the other ones, but it is also usable. Okay. Let's take advantage of the fact that we can... Let's do... Should be fine here. There we go. And the wild cards are not going to be in a good spot. So let's go ahead and make the match instead. Okay. A lot of pin bar to work with. I mean, I guess that's one way of doing it. So there's the W on that one. And for the last one, I'm going to do a tag team match with Hall of Fame and switch to all 3 yellows. Again, no tour perks, and this one will be against some fully strapped opponents, so but this will be the tricolor build. Focusing on heavy move damage, and I'm bringing in a rare trainer for this one. The finisher can get pretty big, buffing the move damage. Where are you at? There you are. So we're going to keep the diving, elbow drop, bring in the sub for the $1 Million Dream, and then the backbreaker. Acom for yellow to get us started. Big E for yellow move damage. Lacey for when we're blowing up the board with the wild cards. And Gooker for more damage as well. So it's not showing up on the finisher. It does buff the finisher, but it's not reading in the tooltip. So you can see the 4 MP backbreaker deals a heck of a lot of damage just in move damage alone. Again, yellow move damage percentage metals would be great. Flat would be good too. Hall of Fame Link's going to give us +4 MP to start. With Acom's another 4, that's 8, and our turn is 1 for 9. So we are going to get an additional 4 loot box gems from the submission. So you can either hit this or use it. I think we'll have more than 4 when we're done, so I'm going to save it. And kind of want to try and plan for the wild card. Try and keep him somewhat in the middle. It's a little bit hard to guess because he's going to be breaking a bunch of gems. We'll take some of his reds away too. Stay away from that area, and we'll go that corner up here too. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. So here we get the whole 5 turns, and kind of annoyingly, he broke those loot box gems right away, but that's okay. And you got those 2. Did get some more to drop in though. And we can hit this one, and then hit the wild cards. Which hopefully the goal is that you can at least get 1 yellow wild card out of this. That's a pretty rough cascade. So we did not have very good luck there. You could also run this with the turn blues into loot boxes, which would be very good. But I hadn't run this build set yet, so I wanted to show you guys this one. Trying to see about some yellows. Doesn't look like it, so we'll go this route. Now we got some yellows. Okay. AI never breaks loot boxes. Do a preview video and then all of a sudden they're breaking them all over the place. That's funny. All right. And now time for the wild cards. Again, pretty rough luck with the wild cards, but and oh, let's just tag Piper in to finish him off. I think you guys have seen what the build can do and the moveset can do. Be very interested to see what you guys think in the comments about the $1 Million Man. I actually rather enjoy him. Again, I think the 4-star build right before the defense one, build one, is probably my favorite. It's a lot of fun with the wild cards, getting a bunch of them out there. So I hope you guys like this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And thanks for watching, guys. Good luck out there.